Minister. Now the chair will recognize Senator Deakin, Ontario, to be followed by Senator Klein. Senator Deakin, please.
Thank you, and thank you very, very much for being here this afternoon. And just before I ask one or maybe two questions, I just wanted to invite you and your finance team, when you have a moment, to look at the model that New Zealand is using. It is interesting, and it's something worth Canada, I think, learning from that they wish to use to jumpstart their economy, albeit a different story. But their Minister of Finance is also their Minister of Sport, and he believes that the happy and the healthier families are, the recovery to COVID and the conditions around COVID will be faster, and their population, particularly the most vulnerable, they're really focusing on it. So model, my respected colleagues, is worth reviewing. My question specifically at this moment, however, is to do with internet access and presently in COVID-19, high-speed internet has become a lifeline for many Canadians at quite a rate each and every day. Particularly for our students, their lack of access, the stories will break a heart. They're very, very compelling, and for our small business. In budget 2019, your government committed to seeing that 95% of our Canadian homes, with that goal, we're going to have access to the internet, and by 2030, 100%. Given this experience, the sudden increased reliance on internet access and all of its complexities, are there any plans to rethink this, to accelerate this last year's commitment for this project that might help more Canadians sooner?
Minister.
Well, thank you, Senator. I think it's an appropriate consideration. We are absolutely resolute in the goal that we laid out in Budget 2019 to get that internet access to people across Canada, even that very difficult last mile, which is presenting some challenges in some parts of our country. The funding we put there was in multiple envelopes, including direct funding by the federal government, some changes that are going to encourage more investment from the companies, as well as the Canada Infrastructure Bank and the CRTC. We will, of course, always have to look at whether that can be accelerated. It's not something that we've looked at yet, not because it's not important, but because in this time, obviously, we've been focused on the emergency function. But I will tell you that my colleague Miriam Monsef, who's responsible for rural, is looking carefully at this issue as we speak, and it'll be something that we will have to consider as we see the evidence of the challenges that we faced. Now, that said, I would also say that we've actually seen some very positive results with the ability for people to work online. So we'll need to deal with the gaps at the same time as celebrate the successes.